reducing peaks like Margarita, increase in temperatures, and therefore snow on those peaks reducing due to melting that comes as a result of increase in temperatures. We know these mountains are snow capped just because they are above the snow line. That whatever goes beyond that, above that line, it has to get snow. But snow there also reduces due to global warming. I hope now you've understood very well. Now, in this lesson today, majorly, we are going to understand the meaning of wastes. We are going to know examples of some of the wastes that we find in our environment. Furthermore, we shall look at the types of wastes. Yes, we may know them, but we may not be able to understand the types. I'm sure by the end of this session, you'll be able to understand that. Still, you are going to see causes of increased wastes in the environment. What are the causes of the wastes that are increasing in the environment? Yes, and then we shall look at proper ways of managing wastes. How should we manage wastes so that they don't destroy the environment? And lastly, to be the dangers of poor management of wastes. If we poorly manage waste, what are the dangers are we likely to face? Don't move anywhere. It's high time you get prepared. The lesson is beginning. But before I go any further, let me give you this very important information. When COVID came, it has taught us how to use internet. Most of us, we are not at school, we learners and teachers. Our parents, they are also not working, they are at home, most of them, because at work they want few people. Now, we need to learn to use internet for various activities. Our parents, as they are using internet to do their office work, we learners, we have also to learn using internet, and we will continue excelling academically. The only option you have as of now is using internet to learn. You can use Zoom classes and others, but there is an easy way, and that is the PrimeLearn application. I want to write it here, PrimeLearn. This application is going to help you to learn from home at any time of your choice, from anywhere. You can go to your bed. The only thing you need is to have a gadget. Get a phone which can access internet. That's a smartphone. An iPad can work, a laptop can work, and even a desktop at home can also work if it can access internet. How do you get this application? Go to your Google Play Store if you are using Android phones or any gadget. Download PrimeLearn. Write it like that, you get it. Install it on your phone or on your gadget, and then tap in it. It will open with very many features on the screen. But you go to where there is the word My Account. It is on the extreme right corner. And then put in your credentials. Put your name, your phone number, and create a password. You open up an account. You are going to be able. It's going to help you to continue learning with great teachers all over Uganda. This application has abandoned metals. These are what? When we talk about abandoned metals, we are talking about scrap, and I'm very sure you know scrap very well because it's scrap. Scrap is one of the things that children are looking for in villages there to get money. It is one of the waste materials because it's not needed. That's why you pick it and you sell it to others who need them, but in your areas where you come from, they don't need it. Just carry it and give it to other people. Leftover food. Leftover food. It's also a waste product. We have broken glasses. Broken glasses. We have plastics, they are also there. Yes, plastics are also not needed anywhere. If we abandon them, then that's the end of their value to human beings. So then we have polythene bags. Polythene bags. These are examples of the materials that we don't need. These are wastes. And we have animal wastes, plant wastes, abandoned metals, which we call scrap, that you pick mostly in holidays, leftover food, broken glasses, plastics. Most of those are broken plastics. We don't need them. Polythene bags. They have two types. These wastes are of two types. These types are as follow. We have, if we talk about types, we have the biodegradable wastes and non-biodegradable wastes. Yes, those are the two types. Now we need to understand what are the biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable wastes are the wastes that decay or decompose. These are wastes that can easily decay or decompose. These wastes are mostly come from animals and plants. Animal wastes and plant wastes are the one that are called biodegradable resources. My dear viewer, this one, once we drop them outside, because we don't need them, they are going to rot. After rotting, they are going to decay and become soil again. So they are very, very, very easy to dispose in the environment. Then non-biodegradable resources. This one cannot decay. Non-biodegradable resources. These are resources, non-biodegradable wastes. These are wastes that cannot decay. Even if you drop them outside for 100 years, you'll find them in their natural state. The only thing that can happen, they rust. These are, most of them, the metals. We call them abandoned metals, scrap. Leftover food can decay, so it's under plants. Broken glasses and plastics, they cannot decay. And then polythene bags. Most of the polythene bags don't. Very many industries that are producing these things. That's why there is an accumulation of wastes in the environment. These industries, for example, industries that make plastics, that make metals, get things to package their products. And the packages, we don't use them. They become wastes after getting what we need. Take an example of bottled milk, packed bread, and other things. We eat, thrown away. That's one. Another one is urbanization. Urbanization. If I talk about urbanization, what do I mean? Urbanization means that towns are also increasing in number. Areas that they are developing. Whenever they develop, people increase in that area. And these people are using these products which are having wastes. It's very important to know that whenever a place develops and becomes, these wastes are very dangerous to the environment. Another one is lack of proper. The reason why we sell scrap is because we want that scrap to be taken back, to be recycled, and produce other products. So we have a challenge that we don't know that it is true they can recycle these waste products. And therefore, that's why those who started collecting scrap long time ago, they could get a lot of scrap, but nowadays scrap cannot be seen because we have started getting the knowledge, we have started learning that it's correct, it's right to have scrap and then taken back to be recycled. And even plastics nowadays, they are collected. I always find people collecting bottles of soda, plastic bottles. You find they are collecting different plastics. They are taken back to be recycled. So it is also a reason why we have accumulated waste in the environment. Our ignorance, that's people's ignorance about recycling of wastes. The last one, the last point that I want you to write is use of resources waste-free. There is that word waste-free. We said the last one cause is use of resources waste-free. Resources waste-free. What is that word waste-free? Waste-free, we are trying to mean that if you are using a resource, don't waste it. Don't get a lot of resources and then you use some others, you leave them there and they become wastes. For example, when you talk about, you find a home, they have things that do the same, that offer the same service. They have like 3 alternatives of things that offer the same service or that can be utilized to do the same activity. So some of them are going to be left unused or unutilized. And when they're not utilized, they get expired date and they become wastes. So because we are fond of people that are using resources the way we feel like, wastefully, we don't care. You find you have bread, you find that the bread has expired, and now you're going to dump it outside in the rubbish pit if at all you have it. So, but it is becoming a waste material in the environment. It has a polyethylene bag, safe. So, these are the causes. Let us look at the proper ways of recycling resources or proper management of resources. Before I go any further, I'm very sure you have come to understand wastes. But now the important information I'm giving you is how can you manage them? How are we going to manage resources? It is very, very important. We have a simple formula. It's called 5 R's, 5 R's. We have 5 letters of R, which gives us the reasons or the proper ways of managing resources. The first one is reuse. When I say reuse, what do I mean? If I'm very sure everything in the environment can do something for us. We can use everything in the environment. That's why we refer to them as resources. So, you may bring a Kavera today, that's a polyethylene bag, and then tomorrow you use it for other things. For example, lighting a charcoal stove, you use a Kavera. It means it has been reused. So we are saying we should learn to use waste materials again and again. For example, if I get a tin, after getting whatever was in the tin and I used it very well, the waste product is now a tin. I can use that tin as a flower pot, or it can hold the flower even in the sitting room. So let us learn to reuse as many times as we can all those wastes. Another one is recycle. Recycle. To recycle is that let us correct them, take them back to industries. For them, they know how to recycle them and use them very well. They can produce other products from them. That is recycling. When I talked about reuse, there's something I did not talk about. I talked about reusing it over and over. But we can also use these resources for other purposes. I can use a polythene bag more than one time. For example, I buy my polythene bag. I use it whenever I go for shopping, so that I don't get more polythene bags. That is also reusing. But there is also using a tin for another purpose after using it. So it's also another way of reusing. You can use one waste product for more than one time. Or you can use one waste material for other purposes. That's the reuse. Recycle, the way we collect scrap, and then we sell it to those who take it back to industries to be recycled, to produce other things. We know there is what they call metal fabrication. Metal fabrication is making tools out of metals. Now, when they take these scrap that we sell them, mostly we young children, those who are there outside, I know you have collected scrap. It is taken back to be worked upon and produce other materials, which we are going to use again. So that is recycling. We have another one, reduce. We call it reducing. These are 5 R's, reducing. Reducing means let us reduce the rate at which we use wastes. If it's polythene bag, reduce. If you have been buying things whenever you go to the market and they use 10 polythene bags, reduce from 10 to 5. From 5, you go and take 1 and you keep all your products there. So the rate at which we use these wastes, we should reduce it in order to manage properly the wastes. Another one is reject or refuse. Reject, or you can say refuse. To refuse, you go to the market, as the seller gives a polythene bag, you say, no, please, thank you, but I have my bag here. I can keep my materials there, or my shoppings there. Please, in a humble way, don't just say, I don't want your kavera. No, humbly say, thank you very much, but I have my bag here. I can keep my property properly. So let us refuse to use these harmful wastes in the environment. If you go to the shop, you want a soft drink, you can have your metal that you use, your bottle that you use. Please get your soft drink, exchange into your bottle, leave the plastic bottle with the shopkeeper there. That person will be able to dispose it very well than you moving with it after taking water, soft drink, you drop it on the way. It's very bad. That's rejecting or refusing. The last one, among the 5 R, is return. Return. Yes, I'm sure all of us, we have ever used bottles of soda that were used to be taken back. We call them glass bottles in the crates of soda, beer, and other drinks. They have those bottles which are meant to be returned. Even we used to leave some money to the shop attendant so that when you bring back the empty, they give you your money. This is what we mean. Let us use things that can be returned to the shop. Even if it cannot be returned, please, if you get time, return them. For example, if I buy powdered milk in the tin, I can take that tin back to the shop attendant or to the manufacturer. These people that produce water, they have those bottles that can be returned. Please let us always return the wastes in order to reduce the wastes in the environment. Let us look at other ways. These have been the 5R of proper way of managing resources. And these we have proper disposal. Proper disposal of wastes. Yes, you may ask how. Please let us dispose them where they are meant to be. If I'm to ask a question, where do you dispose your wastes at school? You always have a dustbin, a rubbish pit. We have toilets where we dispose the wastes. So even at home, let us have these things. Let us have a dustbin. Let us have a dustbin, then rubbish pits, and also the toilets and other things where we can drop our wastes whenever we use after using them. Then another one, treating the wastes. Those who have been in boarding schools, you have seen that we have septic tanks where they put wastes, human wastes, and after they treat them and carry them to be disposed very well. That's the same thing we should do. Another one is generating biogas. Generating biogas from animal and plant materials. That is also very good. Lastly, I'm going to look at dangers of poor management of wastes. And that is, one, if we poorly manage resources, we are likely to face what we call pollution of the environment. We're going to pollute the environment. Pollution is contaminating the environment. So whenever we get these wastes and put them in the environment, we are polluting the environment. Another one, it eases the spread of diseases. If you have ever gone to a place which is very dirty with a lot of things, there are higher chances of getting cholera, typhoid, and other diseases that can be spread due to having a dirty place. Another one is, after talking about the two dangers, we have soil exhaustion. Soil exhaustion. It is soil exhaustion. This is O-U, exhaustion. The land gets tired because of putting rubbish in it, and it will not be fertile again. Right now, we are going to have our questions, and these questions are very simple for everybody. These questions, as you check on your phone to call, for you to be able to answer these questions, we have the number one question says, number one question, we are saying, give any two places at school where wastes can be disposed. Number one is, give any two places at school where wastes can be disposed. Number two says, state the 5 R's. State the 5 R's as used in a proper management of resources. Management of resources. As I wait for the calls, there is something I want to let you know again. And I want to remind you that on PrimeLearn, there is an easier way of talking to the teacher. You don't need to pay any pen, but what you have to do is to use your, after watching the video, there is that part where there is WhatsApp. You talk to the teacher, ask him or her the question that you have not understood, or the content that you would love to teach. At the same time, on internet, I told you we need to embrace internet for us to go away in learning. Please, it is very important for you to use PrimeLearn than any other way. Why? You're going to contact a teacher without paying money for it. Just use internet. You're going to be able, hello.
My name is Ineza Prosper.
Yes, Prosper. Where are you coming from?
I'm going to answer number one.
Number one, yes.
Rubbish pit
Rubbish pit, very good.
and septic tank.
Septic tank, yes. Another one. You can give us another one. Okay, we have also toilets or latrines. Some schools they have latrines, pit latrines. Others they have toilets where the septic tanks are. Then we have dust bins, rubbish pits, and others. Yes, number two is take the 5 R's as used in proper management. Hello, please. Where are you coming from? Where are you calling from? Okay. Number three is
Hello.
hello, please. May I know who am I talking to?
Hello.
Hello? Please, when you call
Melinda.
Melinda? Melinda?
Melinda.
Merina, yes. Which question are you answering? Number two, 5 R's. I'm here writing. Can you mention them? Yes. There's nowhere to be seen. We can continue. Number three is how do human and industrial wastes lead to pollution of the environment. Pollution of the environment. Here you need to understand how do they pollute the environment, what they add in the environment, so that you'll be able to answer this question very well. Yes? Hello? Hello, please. Number 4. Hello? Please, when you call, move away from the TV. Kwagala.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Please, go on.
I'm Kwagala Praise from Kat.
Yes, Kwagala Praise. Okay. Praise, I think you're there. You can talk.
Hello.
I can hear you. Please, go on.
Hello.
I can hear
Number
you.
2.
Number 2. 5 R's.
It's like
Yes.
reuse,
Reuse. Find one.
recycle,
Recycle. 2. Yes, that's the order.
reproducing,
Reducing. Not reproducing. It's reducing, right?
return,
Return. Then you have missed one. Refuse or reject is the 4th, and the 5th one is return. Thank you very much for calling. Number 3 is there. How do human and industrial wastes lead to pollution of the environment? As we write number 4 here, which is why should people recycle? Why should people recycle the waste materials? Should recycle waste materials. Yes. Why should people recycle waste materials? As I've said, this question number 3 is how do human and industrial wastes lead to pollution of the environment? To answer this question, you have to be sure of the things we talked about, all the types of wastes, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So after knowing that, you get to know human and industrial wastes, what do they produce? Do they produce biodegradable or non-biodegradable? And if they are non-biodegradable and biodegradable wastes, which one pollute the environment? Okay, we continue. Number 4, why should people recycle waste materials? Why is it very good or important for us to properly manage waste resources? Why should people know proper management of wastes? It's very important also to note. As I've said, we have to embrace internet, and to embrace internet is to use internet for most of our activities. Even learning can be done on internet. There is a Zoom teaching. It has been taken all over Uganda and it has been tested. But still we have PrimeLearn, where you pay nothing and watch videos from different teachers in Uganda who are very competent with the concepts, and you are able also to communicate to the teacher and get more clarity for your academic excellence. Please, PrimeLearn can be got via Google Play Store, and those who are using iPhone, you use www.primelearn.com, a website where you're going to learn very well. Please, you can continue call and answer for me these questions as they are here. Yes? Then we have another question that is also very important for us to understand. What type of fuel or energy got from animal and plant materials? Plant materials, we talked about it in the beginning. Yes. It's also another question that we can also answer. These questions can be also answered in the next lesson, or you can get me on this number and still answer them. We have 0759 81 21 96. It's on WhatsApp, and still you can call or text me. I'll answer or I'll respond to you. We can interact. We still have 0700 51 51 30 17. Still we can communicate, and you learn more about PrimeLearn. You can learn more about SST in upper primary. And please, dear learners, continue visiting Star TV for this very program that is attaching to our education system. Please, Star TV has given us this opportunity amidst this pandemic, and we should continue learning with PrimeLearn as we also watch Star TV. Yes, there is a part that I talked about. It is dangers of poor waste management, and I need to clarify more about it. Poor waste management can lead to pollution of the environment. And we said the pollution of the environment means contaminating environment with the dangerous or harmful substances. Please, whenever we do this, we are likely to face a challenge of making our environment unsafe for our living. Therefore, we should learn to proper ways of waste management and still to avoid polluting the environment. Another danger is soil exhaustion. Whenever we dump wastes in the environment, for example, polythene bags, plastics, metals, which are non-biodegradable materials, the land gets exhausted because it cannot carry out aeration, the movement of air in the soil. It cannot receive rainfall enough because we know very well these polythene bags cannot allow water to pass through them. The metals cannot allow water to pass through them. The plastics cannot allow water to pass through them. So the land becomes very exhausted and it cannot allow growing of crops. Yet all of us, we know we get food through crop growing. Therefore, it's better to dispose very well our waste materials. The last one is, and last danger is a spread of diseases. We know very well that whenever we move in that areas, we are likely to have diseases like cholera, typhoid, and very many other diseases. Therefore, if we dispose our wastes properly, we shall not easily get such diseases. I want to urge you, please, let us learn proper ways of maintaining. Please, let's